Hello, and welcome to Week 8 of English 111. This week, we'll continue to work on our research project by focusing on finding good sources. You're going to read Chapter 4 of the Bedford Researcher, then you're going to do 2 journal entries on research questions, participate in a discussion forum on practicing using MLA citations, and you're going to find 3 good academic sources and cite them as part of an assignment. So let's start off by thinking about what a research question is. A research question is a brief question that directs your efforts to collect, critically read, evaluate, and take notes on your sources. It focuses on a specific issue. It reflects on your writing situation. It's narrow enough that you can write about it in the length of your paper, and it always begins with one of these words: what, why, when, where, who, or how. So let's start off by doing a journal entry to reflect on how you can really develop your research questions. Reflect by thinking about how you can revise your research question as you grow your understanding of the issue that you're researching. Now that you've spent some of your time you know more about your project by researching and talking to your classmates, the people you know, and maybe even experts. You can reflect again on your writing situation. So write in your journal what has changed, if anything, about what you want to accomplish with your project. Have you changed the role you want to adopt? Do you want to inform readers, reflect on your issue, conduct an analysis, carry out an evaluation, define or solve a problem, convince your readers to accept an argument, mediate a disagreement, or persuade readers to take action? What kinds of sources would be best to rely on as you carry out your project? How have your biases, such as your interests, beliefs, and prior knowledge of the issue, affected your ability to learn about the issue you'll address in your project? So there's a lot of ways to generate potential research questions. And the book talked about this in Chapter 3, The Bedford Researcher. Questions can focus on the following categories: information, history, assumptions, goals, outcomes, and policies. And make sure you review all this information in Chapter 3. Questions can lead to these types of thinking processes: definition, evaluation, compare and contrast, cause-effect analysis, problem-solution analysis or advocacy, sequential analysis, inquiry, reporting. So on pages 44 and 45 of the Bedford Researcher, there's a huge spreadsheet, a huge table that has this all filled in with all of the different potential models of research questions, looking at both what questions can focus on and the thinking process they're using. So please take a look at that. And then think about how to craft a question that really reflects your writing situation. So you're going to look at the ones you've drafted and ask yourself what types of questions you'd like to focus on. Choose the research question that seems more likely to help you achieve your purpose as a writer. Refine your research questions. So, for example, if you had an original research question that said, what should be done about steroid use by adolescent girls involved in competitive sports? You could refine it by adding in the following information. Even though we know that widespread drug testing of all athletes younger and older is impossible, what should be done about steroid use by adolescent girls involved in competitive sports? You see how adding that in really adds in the condition of what you're looking at. You know the scope of what you're doing, and it sets it up for how you're going to conduct your research. You want to use conditional words and phrases when you create your research questions, such as although, because, even though, given that, in light of, now that, since, while. Use these words to begin your research question. Then narrow the scope of your research question by deleting vague words and phrases and replacing them with more specific language. Using these specific terms, conduct preliminary searches in our library catalog, online databases, and on the web. All right, now that you've revised your research questions and completed the 2 journal entries for this week, I want you to do some research in Clarion's online virtual library and find 3 appropriate sources. You need to take a look at the assignment for this week, but you will be finding 3 appropriate academic sources, citing those sources, and talking a little bit about your process of finding them. All right, that's it for this week. Next week, we'll be reading Chapter 5. I'll see you online.